Man, that guy sure likes to sing. Dear Tim and Moby, who was Maya Angelou? Thanks, Kimmy. Maya Angelou was a famous American author and poet. She was a lot of things. She was an activist, a singer, a dancer, a journalist, and an actor, and a director. She was born in Marguerite Johnson in St. Louis, Missouri on April 4th, 1928. Her childhood was rough, and as a young girl she was abused by her mother's boyfriend. And for about 4 years she wouldn't even speak to anyone except her brother. She moved back and forth between homes, and sometimes she didn't even have a home. For a while she lived with other homeless children in abandoned cars at a junkyard. I know she even went through some really hard times. But Angelou turned those struggles into a great literature. Her poems and plays and books and explored oppression of lots of different forms. An oppression of black people by white people, and of women by men, and of the poor by the rich. And her famous work is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, which was published in 1969. In it, she tells of a story of a young girl named Maya growing up in Arkansas in the 1930s. And around the time the South was segregated. African Americans had to shop in different stores, live in different parts of town, and even go to different schools. They were treated like second-class citizens in pretty much every other way. Yeah, and it's hard to believe this wasn't even that long ago. In the book, racism isn't Maya's only problem. She goes through some rough events just like the way she did as a child. Her mother's boyfriend abuses her, and her mother abandons her. Maya feels trapped by her poverty, her skin color, and her gender. She thinks that she's totally powerless over her body and with her destiny. But over the course of the book, she learns to assert herself to take control of her own life. Well, the character Maya isn't exactly a younger version of Maya Angelou. The book is based on her childhood, but it's not a strict autobiography. That's a book where somebody writes their own life history. Instead, Maya combats facts and fiction in order to make her story more something powerful. The book also has a shifting perspective. Sometimes the character speaks as an adult, sometimes as a child. So when you read it, you get two different perspectives, the events of Maya's life. The both versions of the narrator switch in and out of dialect, a way of speaking to serve it to a certain time and a place. Maya uses the language to evoke the South of the 1930s. Yup, and it was praised by critics and became a huge bestseller. She followed it up with 5 more autobiographical novels that cover for the rest of her life, as well as several volumes of poetry. One called Give Me a Cold Drink of Water Before I Die was nominated for prestigious Pulitzer Prize. Maya also had a career in film and television, writing screenplays, directing films, and appearing TV programs. She's been even nominated for Tony and Emmy Awards for acting. So, in 1993, she read her poem on the pulse of the morning at President Bill Clinton's inauguration. She became the first African American and the first woman but to receive this honor. And in 2010, she accepted the Medal of Freedom from Barack Hussein Obama, the country's first African American president. And at the turn of her life, Maya never slowed down. She was finishing a new book before her death in 2014. She was 86. Hey Moby, why don't we open that cage for a minute?